presenting a new exciting radio program featuring the thrilling adventures of an amazing and incredible personality. Faster than an airplane, more powerful than a locomotive, impervious to bullets.
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane!
It's a podcast!
Race a high-powered bullet to the target. With tremendous weight, he bends solid steel in his bare hands, as though it were...
Hello, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of It's a Podcast. In this episode, the return of Outside the Pages, as well as two Spotlight comics this week, both big events in both the big two. And we actually have a trailer to talk about. And when I say we, I mean Mike's here.
Hey everybody out there, what's up?
And we are going to be here, and we are going to be talking about the trailer that I know my brother actually was very excited, more than surprised. He was very excited to see this week, and that is the Constantine trailer.
Yes.
And Mike, I know you are a huge fan of Constantine. I know you're a huge fan of the character in the comic world. Yep. And I know after watching this trailer, you're really, really looking forward to what's to come on the TV series.
Absolutely. I mean, when I saw that they were making a TV series of Constantine, I was like, I couldn't really believe that they actually were going to be making a Constantine TV series. I mean, I've read the DC comic books of his solo series when he was in Justice League Dark and so many other places that he's been here and there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this because the character they chose was spot on perfect as his character.
Yeah, his voice was very good.
Yeah, and the voice, the way that when he was speaking is exactly how I imagined in my mind when I read his dialogue in the comic book. So, it's just so amazing how, it's going to be. And it looks very promising as well.
Yes, definitely looks promising.
But, I like how... It doesn't really have to relate to the comic books because some people are saying, that it may relate to the comic books, but to be honest, I really don't think it will because when I was looking at the trailer, not a lot of things actually related from what I read in the comic books because there are some different points, which is actually what I'm looking forward to the most when I watch
it's based off of it's based off the Hellblazer comic series more than the John Constantine New 52 series.
That's what's really amazing, and it's coming out this fall and on NBC, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
I don't know, that's the thing that really bothers me, though. It's on NBC and it's not on the CW. CW did Smallville, they're doing Flash, they're doing Arrow, and they do Supernatural, and those are really awesome shows. I was thinking, if anything, John Constantine or Constantine should have ended up on that, station.
Yeah. But, for it to also be on Fridays, it'll give me something to do on Friday nights, because normally I really don't do much on Friday nights.
You just sit in your room all alone.
Well, not all the time. Sometimes I try to find some things to do and internet stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's not put that...
Yeah, let's not get into that, but I'm really looking forward to this, and for those of you who are Constantine fans, as I am, especially who are reading the comics, definitely check it out if you haven't yet, the trailer. I mean, I really like how he uses magic also because of the way he was in the beginning.
I also like that in the trailer we see he's in an asylum, and he actually it looks like he put himself in there because he had enough of all the exorcism and whatnot. Maybe he was put in there, I don't know. But to me, I think that's very interesting for the character. I think it's very interesting in general that he's put in there, or he puts himself in there to get away from being like this exorcist, and then it literally just walks right into the insane asylum where he's at.
Yeah. And it's just really how they're going to plot the story. I mean, I just hope that it goes in the right direction, because the story is really all that matters and how it's going to go. Especially when they said the war is coming. And I could think of probably one or two things of what they probably mean, but I don't want to make that prediction yet until we get maybe closer to the season finale. And hopefully if I'm right or wrong. But I want to see what this war means, and if one of my predictions that I'm thinking about is correct or not. Or it might take me by surprise. Who knows?
You never read Hellblazer, so you really don't know.
Well, no, it's not that I haven't read Hellblazer. I've read Constantine, though, which is what it's mostly.
Which is what it is now, but what the series looks like it's taking after is Hellblazer. Now, again, I don't know, because DC technically does own Vertigo, so technically,
They both run in the same.
Yeah, they're the same boat, so technically
Exactly.
it could be the same Constantine, but I do like they got rid of that whole cigarette thing, because in the comic books he always has one in his mouth. I do appreciate that they kind of let that go for the TV series, at least. Maybe it was
Well,
the
yeah,
actor, maybe it was the I think that Constantine, that's like a staple for his character and all, and I know a few people are already writing nasty comments saying, well, it's Constantine, he has to have the cigarette, that's his trademark. I understand that, but in a way, I like it better the way they're doing it in the TV
Yeah, because
series.
personally, when I hear John Constantine, I think him using magic. I don't think of him having a cigar or.
I think of
that
some
bow
dirty,
tie with a brown
undermining.
jacket.
I think of some dirty, undermining person that just has magical abilities.
Right, but it's going in a different direction. That
I found it interesting that he's looking to redeem himself after he willingly sacrificed a child's soul to hell, or damned them to hell for some reason or another. That was interesting.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see the origin story of how it's going to look on, excuse me, on the TV, rather than what I see in the comics. And just that alone is just something I'm looking forward to in the fall to see.
Hopefully it'll last more than a season also, because...
Well, it all depends on, let's see how it goes, because sometimes it may go well, and maybe it might not go so well. But I'm hoping it does go well, because, like I just said, I read the comics, and...
So far, superheroes and TV/movies right now are doing really well, and for me it doesn't matter, because I'm really not too much into the TV or movies. I don't have time. It's not that I'm not into it because I don't like it. I don't have the time to actually watch TV, on a scheduled basis. And movie wise, well, we won't go into movies or anything like that. But
Right.
I try, especially when things are out on DVD, Blu-ray. I try to catch them then, but it's hard. It's
because I
very
think
busy.
Blu-ray and DVD is actually better, because if you don't have time to see it first air on TV, you have to wait a certain number of months for it to come out, but then when you have the DVD in possession, you can watch it anytime you want, or you could even watch on Netflix.
Yeah, well,
as
tonight,
well.
actually, or last night, because this is going up on Thursday. Last night, Arrow ended, and I watched 0 episodes from season 2.
So
But in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, season 2's DVD set's going to be coming out soon. And last year, Black Friday, the season 1 DVD set went on sale for $10. Maybe next year it'll be season 2. Who knows? Maybe I
this
won't
year,
wait.
because we're referring to this year.
Oh, yeah, true, this year.
Yeah, because next
This
year
year in
probably
November.
season 3. But I really like how they're expanding more of the superheroes that are going to be featured on TV series, because it's something that us comic readers really enjoy watching and seeing. That is, if they do it right. Because sometimes, it may not go so well for some viewers. Not all viewers, maybe some viewers.
I don't know. It all depends.
Yeah, I'll just be taking a look at it.
There's lots of trailers out right now. I know there's a trailer that came out today for Flash. And I think there was also one for iZombie. I'm not sure. I'm not really into iZombie.
iZombie? Really?
We talked about this last 2 nights ago on the podcast, on the live show, Mike.
Yeah, we have to understand. Sometimes I have a short-term memory.
Yeah, you gotta understand that when it comes to TV and movies, I have a really.
I know. Now I know.
And always have to battle.
G.I. Joe. Exactly. So, yeah. It's gonna be, it's always a fall that really comes out with the newest TV
Well,
series.
mostly the newest stuff like that comes out in the fall. The summer is more for the summer programs, stuff like that. Even Power Rangers is on vacation until fall. So
Oh, yeah.
everything's seasoning off now because we're officially in May. Most stuff is either ended, or will be ending soon. By June, mostly all the TV series will be done, and then that leads into the movie line, which from June all the way through till August, we got some huge movies coming out, not only for comic heroes but for other genres and movies as well. So it's a movie. Those are the movie months, and that's why TV takes its little break. So I'm looking forward to all the shows when they come back on the air, but probably not to watch when they first come out, but to watch on DVD later on. For example, like Arrow.
Yeah. A very convenient time for you to watch Arrow whenever you can.
Right. I don't know. DVDs just work better for me. When it comes to watching things on TV where there's a set, rigid schedule, or movies where you have to go out and, you have to pick it, the movies only play at a certain time. I don't know. Me and rigid schedules just don't work. When it comes to sporadic stuff or like watch whenever I feel like it or whenever I want, it works better. That's why these podcasts are recorded sometimes at 3, 4 in the morning, because it's just that's when I'm in the mood to record. I don't like having a set time most of the time. I mean, sometimes, of course, we have to, but if I can help it, I'd rather not.
Yeah,
So,
because just use time wisely and don't waste it away.
you should remember that.
Well, I do remember that.
My Little Pony.
Oh God, don't you dare go there.
Oh, I will.
No. We are not talking about this here. We are talking about something that is not related to My Little Pony.
Well, you never know. They could guest star.
We
on
are not
Constantine.
going into this, so end it. Okay?
Little figure.
No. Now, going back to what you were saying about the convenience of when people want to watch things whenever they can. I agree with you. And it all, time I know is, sometimes it goes fast, slow, or in between, but, whenever people have the time at their convenience, it's what's best for them. Whenever they can.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But that's just me, and basically that's all I've got on the Constantine trailer. I'm sure there'll be more trailers released as time moves forward throughout the whole summer. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. At least there's some trailer I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, every time I turn around and see something new for the Turtles, I cringe. At least there's some positive stuff there. I mean, we did actually get to see Ben Affleck dressed as Batman in the Batmobile.
There was a picture of that.
That was interesting. The suit, I cannot complain about the suit. The suit looks nice. And my only complaint, if I had to pick one complaint, was I wasn't a fan of the Frank Miller bat symbol that took up like 90% of the chest, if not more. However, I did see a lot of colored, like people took the black and white picture and colored it in. They put like colors on the picture or on the suit and the background and everything. And to be honest, if it's a different color than the suit, it actually does look good colored. So, honestly, in black and white, it looks bad, but I can't even complain about the logo anymore because it really just depends on what the final product really is outside of the black and white picture. So, yeah, the Batmobile definitely looks cool.
Yeah, to me, I'm not sure if you saw this, but do you think the ears were a little bit too small?
No.
I thought the ears looked a little bit too small.
I like the ears the size they were. I like the mask and I like the costume.
No, the costume and everything looks great, especially with the Batmobile, but if I had to choose one, like, different from what you're saying,
I'm just
I would
glad they
say
didn't
the
pick
ears.
Christian Bale's costume. Man,
Oh
that was a
my
horrible
God.
costume.
Or if they chose George Clooney to be Batman again.
Oh, please, no. I'm glad he's too old.
Yeah. We won't go into that neither, but...
I'm still not a fan of the Lex Luthor choice. So, even though there's a nice plus with Batman, there's a huge minus still with Lex Luthor. So, there is that. And,
I think what I would say is that we should really wait for the movie to come out because...
I'm waiting for a trailer. I'm not even waiting for it to come out. I'm waiting for a trailer.
I know, like, the actor may not be the best choice. But
May
I
not?
think... But wait. But if you see them on the big screen, they may be really good. Like with Superman Man of Steel. You know, we thought it was, the character might be, But then when I saw it, it wasn't really that bad. I mean, no one could ever beat Christopher Reeves. There is no other being on this planet that can ever beat the Superman Christopher Reeves. But I think Henry Cavill, when he played the Man of Steel...
Second place?
Yeah, like second, maybe third place. Because there's Dean Cain, too, which runs second, third place as
true.
well.
It was TV, yep.
So, with Lois and Clark. But
and he still acknowledges the franchise, or acknowledges being Superman, so...
Exactly, but... it's best that we wait to see it on the big screen and determine ourselves.
Oh, I know Turtles is going to fail.
Or I don't even want to talk about Turtles because after that trailer, and I don't even know what they're going to do with Master Splinter as of now.
Let's not think about that.
I'm not going to even think about that either right now, but best to wait in time to see it on the big screens for ourselves and then describe it later on whether we were right about the character or wrong. Because we can't always be right.
Right. So, guys, that's it for... Well, we were supposed to be just talking about Constantine, but that's it for Constantine. So, thank you, Mike, for coming on.
Oh,
and
no problem.
Now I'm going to switch over to some Outside the Pages, the epic return of Outside the Pages. And for those of you that don't know what Outside the Pages is basically exactly what the title says. It's where I take you guys outside the pages, outside the reviews and all the other stuff I do on my channel, and just talk to you guys a little bit about some stuff that I'm doing, behind the scenes stuff that I've, just some of my personal thoughts on certain things, what I've been up to, just more of less comic talk and more talk about things going on in my life or things that are that I'm working on that don't basically pertain directly to comic books, while at the same time they kind of do. First thing, the hardest part was keeping up with Outside the Pages because there was so much stuff going on in the past year with comic books that it was hard to actually keep up an Outside the Pages series. So I figure, especially on weeks like this where there's very little news with comics, this would be a perfect week to do some Outside the Pages. And there are a few things that I'm actually thinking about, a few things that have been on my mind. So I do have a couple of things I would definitely like to talk about. First of all, pertaining to comic books, Free Comic Book Day came about 2 weeks ago almost now. And I just got my second package from Midtown Comics, which is basically the rest of the Free Comic Book Day comics that I ordered. Actually, Cindy made the order for me. I had contacted... Now, here's the funny part. You see, I had contacted Midtown Comics and told them that there was... in my second order, there were a bunch of doubles, and I didn't want to have doubles, especially because I wanted everybody to have a fair chance at the Free Comic Book Day book. So I wanted to combine my two orders that Cindy had made, and I wanted to put back the doubles that I had that she had ordered. And the person said, yes, we'll combine your order because the shipping also was ridiculous. One box, the first order was I think $15. The second order was like $20, which comes to a total of $35. So yeah, I wanted to combine to prevent an expensive shipping. So I don't know who I talked to, but whoever I did talk to apparently did nothing. Both packages came separately. My order was not combined. My comics, the doubles, were not taken out of my second order, and I ended up with a small stack of doubled books, plus the 2 separate shipping costs. So suffice it to say, I have a really nice Free Comic Book Day haul, which will probably go up sometime tonight, Thursday night. But in that video as well, I'm going to mention that I will not be doing hauls for Free Comic Book Day ever again from now on for Free Comic Book Day. If I am going to be forced to order online because I can't find a store, I'm only going to buy the books that are necessary and all the extra books I'm going to basically let go, because there is no way I'm going to spend $30 plus on shipping for books that I'm going to look at once for a whole video and then basically give away to either Cindy or somebody else in my family. It's not worth the money, and it's not worth the time. I mean, these are free comic books. That's how they should have been treated. And I'm really not happy with the way Midtown has been dealing with their online customers lately. I also got Original Sin #1, and everybody knows that with Original Sin #1, you get those free incentive eyes, and Mike and I didn't even get that. So, again, though, we did find the incentive eyes a different way, so we did actually get them, but besides the point, I'm just really not happy with the way Midtown has been dealing with. First of all, I'm very unhappy with the way they dealt with Free Comic Book Day, and I will never make a full order like that again. I know next year to just buy the books that are important to me and that that I need, like from the Big Two and a few others here and there. I'm not going to be doing an order of every single book like I tried this year again. And I'm kind of upset about the incentive stuff that they basically just dropped off of doing that. I remember when the Blackest Night was going on, they did a really great job of shipping out the rings with the comic books. I don't know why they left the incentive eyes off of Original Sin, but again, I don't want this to become one of those complaining things, but I just thought I'd mention that because the second order actually came today. So I thought I would just make a mention of that, and that I am working on a video for that. Other than that, this is Zenescope Week on Comic Frontline, and I actually came up with the idea, I believe a week and a half ago, or maybe 2 weeks. I've really been a huge fan of Zenescope since I started reading a lot of their books, and I like originality when it comes to comic book stories. I like that. That's why I really enjoy like Argo 5 and stuff like that. I like original content. Not saying the stuff from the Big Two is getting old to me. It's not. But I've learned to appreciate creator-owned universes and content. Now, granted, Grim Fairy Tales, it does take tales we know and love like Wonderland and Neverland, and it puts a new twist to it. So technically these are characters, sort of, that were created years ago, but it's in a different vision, and I like that about Zenescope, and that's kind of why, especially with this being a really huge year for Zenescope with Age of Darkness, I had mentioned that, hey, why don't we have a week celebration for Zenescope, and everybody agreed, like literally at the mere mention of the idea, and then we all just started brainstorming the idea, and I don't want to say anything about next week because I don't want to get yelled at by anybody, but we're talking about some additional stuff for it. But I don't know, I'm really enjoying doing all the extra work for the celebration week. I really am. And we made a huge order. Mike made a huge order from Zenescope, and so did I, with a couple of books. So there's going to be a nice amount of content from us as soon as we get those books. So I don't know. I'm really enjoying everything that's come out of Zenescope since way back in Dark Avenger Inc. time when we first started Dark Avenger Inc. and we actually contacted them, and they were the first company that wrote us back and said, hey, okay, we definitely want you guys to check some of our stuff out. And I did, and it was like, wow, this is a whole world of stuff that I've never, given a chance to, and I should have. And I was pleasantly surprised with a lot of stuff. My first series was Godstorm, and it just grew from there. And actually, with Comic Frontline, I'm doing a project right now. I'm working on it. I've actually gone back to writing a little bit, and I'm going to be doing not writing as far as articles. I've actually gone back to writing stories, and I'm going to be doing a piece. I don't want to spoil what it is yet. I want you guys to be surprised when you guys see it, so I'm not going to give any details away, but I've actually gone back to writing a little bit, and I'm doing this story for Comic Frontline. It's going to be on the written site, And starting writing again, I haven't written a story in or continued my work on a couple of my stories. I've had a lot. I have a lot of written stories. I had walked away from writing for a while ago, way before I even started my YouTube channel, and that was due to schooling and college started up, and I got very busy, and then I got my job, and time for it really kind of disappeared, especially after starting Brooklyn Boys, and then I started this channel. I wrote little bits here and there, but not as much as I had written before when I had so much free time. Going back to writing, several years later, I don't want to say that long. I would say it's been about a good 4 or 5 years since I've actually sat down and written a full-fledged, story from beginning to end. It just, it's like going back home. It's like riding a bike. You never forget, but at the same time, it reminds me so much of why I love writing and why I wrote so much when I was, before I got really busy. And I don't know, it makes me want to go back and finish my other projects. At the same time, though, I do want to do this project. This project is pretty big. And also with Epic Story on Brooklyn Boys, which I had written that, I'm also writing I don't know what we're going to consider it yet, but we ended Epic Story, but we weren't satisfied with the way it ended, so we decided to bring it back for one season and end it the way we wanted to end it. So I'm actually going back to that story for one more season, and we're actually pulling all the stops out for that. I will say that we're working on special effects, we're working on specific special shirts, special things that we're going to throw into the series, kind of like what we did with the rings. For those of you that didn't watch Epic Story, I would highly recommend you check it out because you won't know what I'm talking about. Like with the lantern rings, we used them for the final season. We decided to go a different route for Epic X, which is the name of the series, or how we're going to conclude Epic Story. Instead of calling it Epic Story the next season, we're going to call it Epic X, which is basically going to be the grand finale season of the Epic Story universe that I had written for Brooklyn Boys. How many years ago was that? About 4 or 5 years ago? So I'm actually jumping back into that and starting to write that again. So a lot of writing. I've started doing a lot of writing, and I really, I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started doing it again. And now that I'm doing it again, I'm really, really enjoying it. So who knows, there might be a couple other things that pop up on Comic Frontline as the years come on. But right now I'm going to work on Epic X, and I'm going to be working on the other story, which hopefully you guys will enjoy when you see it. I will mention it on the podcast when the first story's up. I also have other people that are helping me behind the scenes. I don't want to give those people's names away yet. As a matter of fact, I have to talk to one of the people about it still, so that's why I don't want to give any names away yet. But I don't know. I've always been a writer at heart. That's my greatest, in my opinion, artistic talent. Is I love taking something and making it into this humongous story. I think the last time I actually wrote anything before all this was when me and my friend Toxicity, we actually wrote a zombie story, which is public on Facebook. It's on my Facebook. We got to the 3rd episode, I believe, and I still have the 4th one half done. And then life got busy and we actually stopped. But yeah, that was only about 2 years ago that we actually were doing that, and then we had to stop because he got busy, we got busy, it was hard to collaborate. That's the one thing, when you're doing a story and you're collaborating with other people and life gets busy, that's when you see the story suffer a lot, and then one person does more than the other, or you just stop, which is what we did. We actually just stopped. I tried to continue writing the story on my own, but I got maybe 3 pages in, and then I ended up not going back to the story after a while and finishing it. Maybe one day I will, at least that episode, and kind of give at least that episode its rightful conclusion. But I don't know, that's again something that I'll have to think about for later on, because right now I'm focusing on already 2 stories. I don't want to overwhelm myself either now coming back into writing. That's it. I'm just having a really good time with that also. Another thing is, I've noticed a lot of videos lately on YouTube. One of my good friends, Scott, he's actually Custom Bromstar. He's taking a break from YouTube because he's not really doing so good. He wants to get better, and I hope he does get better. He's when I started on YouTube, as a matter of fact, Scott was one of the first people that commented on my stuff, and I found. I remember when I started on my channel on YouTube, I didn't even know that there were comic reviewers out there, and I think I was around towards the beginning of the comic book community. Not the very beginning, obviously, because there were already people doing comic reviews, but I would like to say I was there in either the middle of the beginning or towards the end of the beginning. I don't know when exactly where I jumped in on, but I know that there weren't too many reviewers when I started my channel. But I made friends with everybody who actually did do comic reviews at the time, and Scott was one of those really awesome people that I had met. I believe I actually met him through Doc and Howlett, basically Chris, and we got close through not the live shows, but the podcast I was doing way back when my channel first started. And Scott's just an amazing guy. He was very dedicated to the community. And then unfortunately he got sick, and now he's taking a break, and I hope that Scott comes back soon. I love watching his videos. He had a lot of awesome videos, and they're on his channel, and I would definitely recommend you guys check it out. So hopefully Scott gets better. If you're listening to this, Scott, I hope you get better soon, and I hope you come back to us, because again, you're one of the first people in the comic community. And towards the middle of his video, he said that there was things going on in the comic community, things he didn't even realize were going on, like I don't know if it was fighting or whatever. I mean, way back a couple of years ago, and I had noticed that there was a couple of things going on, not to name anybody or any particular situation, and I kind of backed away from that. I feel the comic communities, we've always been about talking about comic books, discussing comic books on YouTube, and sharing our passion. And that's what I do on my channel. I don't feed into the drama. I just deal with what I love doing, and that's talking about comic books, reviewing them, sharing my opinions with others. I know I get tons of messages at times, tons of comments, and that's what I'm here for, to answer the comments and the messages and to share my love of comics. I'm not here to start drama. I'm not here to fight between, I don't even know where the fighting started, and it's horrible to see that there's fighting going on within the community somewhere, but the community has grown exponentially, I'd like to say, in the past couple of years. So hopefully all this stuff, whatever is going on, fixes itself. I'm actually shocked to hear that there's these little schisms and things going on here, there, and everywhere. I've always been a huge supporter of the comic community on YouTube. So whatever the problems are, hopefully they'll fix, and hopefully when Scott comes back, because I know he will come back, I know he'll get better, and by the time he comes back, hopefully things will be better within the community. Hopefully things will settle themselves, whatever they are. Also, I also noticed that Captain Strangelove was suffering a little bit with a little bit of an illness. I don't want to say anything too far. I mean, you can check out his videos where he'll explain where he's been, but he had been missing for a little while also. He just came back recently with a couple of videos that I enjoyed watching, and it's good to see you back, Hans. I'm glad you're back in the community. I don't know if you're listening to this podcast, but it's really great to have you back, and like I said, hopefully I want Scott to come back too. Hopefully I'll be saying welcome back to him soon also. But I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I don't really watch them through my laptop. I have a Nook, I have my iPod. Usually I'll watch a video and I won't have the ability to comment, but I do watch a lot of videos. People that I'm subscribed to, I do watch. I just don't comment as much. I try as much as I can, And I know I commented on both Scott and Hans's recent videos, but honestly, I'm more of the silent viewers. And I know we all try to say, people comment, and I tell all you guys to comment my videos, but the way I watch videos, sometimes it makes it harder for me to comment. And that's what a lot of people that message me tell me also. So I understand that. I do understand that. So I try as much as I can to comment and to watch, as much as I can. I know I miss a lot of videos, but I try to watch a lot also. It's just a bit hard for me, especially when I'm doing tons of work. Like this video, this podcast today, I took a cat nap in between, so catching up, it's already pretty late. So it depends on the day when it comes to the workload from work, and then the workload when I get home for either this channel or Frontline. But I do watch. I want you guys to know I do watch. I just don't tend to comment as much as I would like to. But anyway, that's really what's going on with me right now. And hopefully, like I said, the community, I'm confident the core community is strong. And I know that things will be okay in the comic community at some point once we move away from all the nonsensical drama and do what we're here to do, why we started our channels on YouTube. And that's to talk comic books and why we love them, and to share our passion with others that come on, whether they're new to the community or they're just looking for opinions and views on certain comics, or they're looking into just seeing a person's collection. Like Hans's collection is like gold. His collection, every time I enjoy watching his videos, because he always has something that he'll pull out of a box and say, wow, I didn't know I had this, or wow, I didn't see this in years. And it's like, wow, holy crap, where did you get that book? But yeah, that's outside the pages for me this week, or for this episode. Hopefully I'll be doing a couple more of these from time to time when time permits, or when news isn't so hefty and I'm able to actually, just sit back and talk about whatever. As far as anything else goes, Brooklyn Boys, me and Mike are actually doing the worst games in recent years, and it's kind of ironic that both games were released by Gearbox. And I'm trying to jump into a couple of DVDs here, there, and everywhere, and working the new schedule for this channel out and working it with Comic Frontline is something different. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying the scheduling. I really took the time out for a week and a half actually, and I took a little break from Frontline, while not really taking a huge break. I still did videos, but I took a break from like the hefty work on Frontline to actually sit back and think about my channel and what I wanted to do for you guys, to give you guys more from my channel, because I know you guys, all I was giving you was the haul and then the weekly review and the indie review, so I wanted to give you guys a bit more. So I'm glad that I got a huge positive response to not only the spotlights at the end of the month, those shows, but the morning stream and this podcast and other things that I'm planning to do in the future. So I'm really glad you guys are liking it. And again, if there's any recommendations or any series you'd like to see, I know somebody mentioned a top 5. Several people mentioned top 5s, and Mike and I are working on that. Other than that, if there's anything else you guys are interested in seeing, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do to work it in here or on Frontline, because Frontline is an extension of my channel. Anything I don't do on here, I do on there. Anything I don't do on there, I do on here. So either way, you guys are getting my work in one place or another. And I love doing it, and I love doing it for you guys every single day, every single week, every single moment. I love doing these videos. I love doing these podcasts. I love working with everybody on Frontline and all the crazy stuff we do, the fun, like celebration weeks and things we're planning for the future. All this stuff, I love it. This is something I really can say I'm very passionate about, and it's good to be working with people that are very passionate about it too. And when it comes to this channel, I love doing the stuff here because I know you guys you guys that are watching the videos are loving it, and I'm loving doing it. The more you guys are loving it, the more I'm loving it, and the more I'm loving it, the more I want to do. And I do, and I try to do as much as I can. In some weeks it may seem like I'm not doing much. Like I said, it's just because sometimes it just gets busy. Life just hits you, and sometimes you have that time where you got to spend more time with life than with the videos. But once life frees up, I do double the videos sometimes. And, you know, having a son now, Tommy is really, he's getting big, and he's getting big fast. Already 4 months old, and it's crazy. It's crazy how time just flies by, and it's only been 4 months. I could imagine 4 years from now me saying it's been 4 years already, and I'm already kind of taken back that it's already been 4 months, and all the stuff that's gone on, all the changes in my life, and all the growing and different things that are going on. And it's not something that I could explain, but it's definitely an amazing feeling. That's something I can call it. And I look forward to things in the future, and I know it's going to get harder at points, and it's going to get easy at points, but it's going to get hard, and it's going to be hard moving forward. But I look forward to each and every hurdle as I get to it. Same as here. So that's about all I could say for Outside the Pages now that I actually extended it. So before I move over, I pass this along to Brandon Zone 4. I would like to talk about some comic spotlights. So let's get back inside the pages now and talk some comic spotlights. This past week, last Wednesday, because the books just came out yesterday for me, so I'm covering the books from last week. We had Original Sin #1 and the New 52 Futures End issue #1. I'm going to talk about the New 52 Futures End #1 first, because the reason I'm spotlighting these books is because obviously they're the #1s, and Futures End is leading into September's big event from DC, and Original Sin is the current event in Marvel. Futures End issue 1, it's about Terry McGinnis, aka Batman Beyond, traveling back in time to try to prevent Brother Eye from taking over the world, so to speak. I don't know. I still have to read issue 0, but that's the gist of it. That's what I've been hearing everybody say. So the book opens up actually where if you didn't read issue 0, like myself, you're kind of a little bit like, okay, Terry's about 5 years in the present day DCU's future, but he's 30 years back from where Beyond's era is. So instead of going 35 years back, he went 30. So already things are going on. He brings back, I believe it was Wonder Woman, who was infected by Brother Eye, and he takes her out. You see several characters in several different situations. You got Grifter, who's taking care of aliens. You have Stormwatch, who basically get eliminated right off the bat in a way. And then you see that there's a conflict going on with Firestorm, that there's a distress call. You see Jason, who wants to, answer it. He wants to be Firestorm. He wants to be there to help. And Ronnie is just a selfish, whiny person, and all he cares about is himself. And Jason actually has to push him into becoming Firestorm. And it's because of Ronnie's choices that we get a death at the end of the book, which was, I guess, spoiler-ish alert, Green Arrow. And I don't know, this book dealt out a fair amount of death. Batman Beyond was only in about 4 pages. I'm not really a fan of Firestorm right now and the way he's going, and then you throw Grifter into the mix. So this book definitely had a very 50-50 mix of Wildstorm and DCU, with a huge spotlight on the DCU, but at the same time you got, like I said, lots of Wildstorm stuff going on. And I'm hoping this book isn't to focus more on the Wildstorm characters. I hope that this book does focus on the fact of Futures End, or the plot where it involves the entire DCU and not just Wildstorm characters. But all in all, I don't know. I just felt the book was very busy, and the series has promise, but this issue seemed at times all over the place. I mean, it can definitely build up from here and be something big, but it can also kind of wear itself out halfway through. The good news is, and this is what I heard, is that next year in March, all the weekly series are going to end. So that's what I'm hearing, at least, that Future's End, World's End are going to end before before issue 52. So they're going to, whatever issue they're up to by the end of March is the end issue. The only series that's going to reach the 52 issue mark is Batman Eternal. So that kind of does relieve my pockets a bit. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I kind of feel bad because World's End is something I was, that was something I was willing to do the 52 weeks with. And that's going to be one of the shorter of the 3 weekly series. So, in retrospect, Future's End is only going to make it to the high 40s or the mid 40s. So it takes a little bit of the we have to do 52 issues worry off of the writers, and also off of the readers worrying about what's going to happen. How are they going to pull off 52 issues? But I don't know. This series it can go either way from what I'm seeing. I guess we're just going to have to sit back and watch week by week what happens. So I'm kind of skeptical, but at the same time, I'm going to stick around for a bit and see where Future's End leads into, at least until September, where we get the whole September event month, and then I'll see where I go from there with Future's End. However, with Original Sin on the Marvel side of the big two, I really enjoyed it, and it's been a while since I could actually say that about a Marvel event. I did not get into Infinity, and I did not get into Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron presented this huge time thingy, or I don't even know what it is, but it involved time travel, and the time travel screwed up all the time in the Marvel Universe now, or the 616U at least, and that's been playing a huge role and effect in the Marvel U to this day. And then Infinity basically played a huge role in the fact that now the Inhumans are more predominant in the Marvel Universe again. But I think that with Infinity and with the follow-up of Inhuman, Marvel kind of dropped the ball a bit, because it's been a while since we got Inhuman issue number 2, and already I feel like I forgot about the series. And when you forget about a series, that's not good, because that's when you start to say, do I really need Inhuman issue 2? Do I want it? Is there a point to it? And I got it. It's coming out, I believe it came out this past Wednesday. I think so anyway. I'm not sure now. I have to check my pull list, but I'm going to stick around for issue 2 of Inhuman. But I feel like they kind of dropped the ball, and they've already moved on to their next event, which is this. But again, I wasn't into Infinity. Original Sin I jumped into because it's, let's face it, it's the death of the Watcher. So it's like, this is something big maybe. So the first issue has, first of all, a huge plus, because they brought the original Nick Fury back and put him on the case of who killed the Watcher. Apparently something happens on the moon, and the Avengers get involved. They find out, they're there, of course, after the whole event happened. The Avengers go and they find out that Uatu's dead. So now, basically, Steve Rogers, Captain America, asks Nick Fury to come back, that they need him, that this is something huge. The Watcher's dead, he's missing his eyes and everything. It's like, we need to find out who killed the Watcher. And even Nick Fury says, a few villains know where the Watcher is, but the list extends to even superheroes. Do you really want to open that can of worms? And that's exactly what Captain America wants to do. He wants to know the truth. And then it turns out somewhere else there's another guy, we don't know who yet, but there's somebody putting another team together claiming that the Avengers won't be able to solve the mystery and won't take the necessary steps to figuring out who killed the Watcher. And this person brings another team together. He reaches out to Black Panther, Ant-Man, Emma Frost, Moon Knight, Winter Soldier, Gamora, Punisher, and Doctor Strange. So basically the entire spectrum, the entire Marvel universe is getting involved in this issue, and it's a murder mystery. And what I like about it is Original Sin is focusing on the murder mystery, which is what it should do. And then if you're interested, for example, in Spider-Man or Thor, or if you want to see how this event is is affecting them, you can read it in their books. Now, granted, I'm sure there's going to be a miniseries or two that spins out of Original Sin. I believe there is going to be at least one. Yeah, there is at least one or two, with Iron Man and Hulk being one of them. But most of it is contained within the books of the characters that are involved in Original Sin, or actually basically almost every book. Like Deadpool, I know, is this month. Avengers is this month. But if you're not interested in seeing all the individual stuff that's going on with certain characters, you could focus directly on Original Sin. Granted, I'm sure there'll be little question marks here, there, and everywhere. If the writers are smart, they'll actually fill in the blanks for you in Original Sin, like little, recaps or recaps at the beginning of each Original Sin, because it's coming out twice a month. But I like that Original Sin is focusing on the mystery of who killed the Watcher, and not focusing, reaching out and trying to touch every single character in each issue and becoming a complete mess. It's better, I feel, in this situation that but all the books of important characters, all the stuff that involves Original Sin, like with Spider-Man, will happen in Spider-Man. With Thor, will happen in Thor. This way, it gives Original Sin the room it needs to focus on the murder mystery. And this first issue was really good. Only thing I didn't like, and I believe we talked about this on the Frontline Live show, is that they already showed the shadowy figure, or at least the shadowy figure that has the Watcher's eye. So already we're getting, we're getting body makeouts of who could be involved. And it's like, I wanted the mystery to kind of last. It's an 8-issue series, a 4-month event. I wanted this, at least for the first 2 months, to be a mystery. Like, we don't know who it is. No shadowy figures, no nothing. And then in the second half, the last 2 months, give us a little bit of those shadowy figures and give us that, like, okay, so who actually did it? Like, give us that whole lead up to the grand finale of where they're going to reveal who killed the Watcher, why. I'm really hoping that this is going to be a real wow shock factor, and that Marvel doesn't kind of like pull back from it if people get upset. The list of potential people is humongous, and I feel like the Watcher's been involved in so many books. Like, he's been in Nova, he's been in All New X-Men, he's been in a few books already, and it's going to be interesting to see in the end who did it and why they did it. Maybe there'll be a reintroduction, maybe somebody will come back that we haven't seen in a long time, or maybe it's somebody we all know right now. I mean, Beast was one of my earlier predictions, especially with stuff that's going on in his head. So it's going to be interesting, and Original Sin definitely has appeal to it. And I know next week, on the week of the 24th, Original Sin number 2 is coming out, and I believe it's the week of the 24th. I am now compelled to make sure that it's the week of the 24th and not the 21st. It is the week of the 21st. I'm sorry, it's the week of the 21st. It's going to be interesting to see what exactly is going to develop from issue 1 to 2. And hopefully, Marvel has this thing where towards the end of an event, things kind of fall apart. I'm hoping that that's not the case here. I mean, Avengers vs. X-Men it started off with a lot of promise, and then it ended kind of and then we're already getting Axis in the fall of this year, which is going to be like a follow-up to Avengers vs. X-Men, kinda. So I'm kind of a little apprehensive about that, but I'm probably going to get it because obviously I read Avengers vs. X-Men. I'm going to want to read the follow-up. But Original Sin definitely has a lot of promise. I would definitely recommend checking out issue 1 and 0. Future's End, if you got issue 0 during Free Comic Book Day, awesome. If you didn't, I don't think you're going to be able to find it unless you find it on eBay. But I would definitely say give Future's End number 1 a shot. But I'm very skeptical with that series. With Original Sin, I'm more solid on I'm probably going to get the rest of this mini-series, this event. We're going to probably get Future's End anyway because Mike's actually buying it and reading it. But Original Sin, I think, is a very solid event. Out of the two, I would definitely say check both issue 1s out, but we'll see if I'm saying the same thing when issue 2 comes out of Original Sin and issue 3 comes out of Future's End on the week of the 21st. So that's it for the Comic Spotlight. I'm now going to turn the show over to Brent and John from Zone 4 this week for the Zone 4 segment of this show. And then after that, me and Brent will come back and close the show out with the weekly rundown for books that are coming out on the week of the 21st. So, guys, I turn it over to you guys or Brent, I turn it over to you and John at the Zone 4.
All right, thanks, Chris, and everybody. Welcome back to Zone 4. This is another installment for It's a Podcast, and with me this time is my good friend, John. What's up, man?
Hello!
And, yeah, so we're going to talk about some TV movie stuff, I guess.
That's right, but since it's such a short segment, yes, since it's such a short segment,
there we go.
We can only talk about trailers.
Exactly. So yeah, we're going to talk about a couple of trailers. Actually, one full trailer and one teaser trailer that we just literally watched like seconds ago.
Yeah.
And we might talk about the bat suit. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But first up, let's start with the one we just watched since it's so fresh in our mind. This was a brand new teaser for the Flash TV show, which probably came out because it's up fronts this week. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they mentioned it. I was looking at some ad and they mentioned that they were going to throw it up at some point during the Arrow season finale.
Yeah, that's a good point, which aired tonight, obviously.
Yep.
So yeah, it made it online really fast then. So, do you know if they've announced like what night it's going to be on? If it's going to be like following Arrow or what?
Honestly, I don't know. I hadn't heard it all yet. Where in the schedule it's going to fall?
Yeah, gonna try to look that up as we're talking.
Yeah, it may be one of those. They may start it out in the summer.
Could
or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong year. That's not gonna help me. I was looking at 2013, 2014.
Yeah, maybe that won't help so much.
No, I don't think so. I was like, where is it?
He can run fast, but I don't think they can program into the past.
But while I am looking this up, we should talk about what this teaser trailer was. And basically, it started off as like an Arrow promo. Almost.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I was like, was this a joke as it was going on? Because you just saw Arrow walking, and he's going to a target, and then you see the speed thing in the background, and it all starts to make sense.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was Stephen Arnett there for a minute, or Arnell, or whatever you say his last name. Yeah. Just because of the way it looked. I mean, it was such kind of it almost looked, it was so stark and everything. It was kind of looked fan-made there for a second.
Yeah.
And then, you finally get that glimpse of his face. I'm like, okay, that's him. That looks good. And then when he pulls an arrow, it definitely solidifies that it's him. Although I do have to call shenanigans on the arrow a little bit, but still. But then, yeah, you see the Flash pop up. That was pretty incredible. Although the actor is still so young.
He is.
he looks so Kid Flash to me.
He was very energetic with that too. He's like,
he was. Yeah. He's like, woohoo! It's like, ooh, dude, you can outrun bullets. Catching an arrow is like,
Yeah, it's
should be a yawn for you, but yeah, it was pretty funny. I liked it quite a bit.
Well, it made sense, the Arrow connection and backdoor pilot and all that. It actually, like you said, it was cute. It was fun. It kind of got me excited for the show. So, I don't think they've released like what night or whatever it's on.
No, I don't think so.
I can't imagine them not. I mean, if it does like air in the fall, I can't imagine them not pairing it with Arrow though.
You would think, but they may be doing that crazy thing of trying to, spread things out a little bit.
That's true.
So who knows?
Yeah. Yes, we will have to wait and see.
Indeed, but it was definitely cute and funny, and kind of hope they're going to keep that sense of lightheartedness and as well as mixing it with action.
Yeah, definitely. Has to have some action.
Yeah, indeed. Well, of course, but
It has to have Rogues Gallery. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have to have a little action. I mean, it is a superhero thing after all, but
Yeah. I mean, being the Flash, it has to have the Rogues Gallery. You know,
of course, yeah.
in some way, shape, or form. It's just got to. It's interesting though that they're going outside of Arrow's really grounded. I mean, they've kind of skirted that a little bit with the Mirakuru,
Yeah.
but it's very grounded where it's not like superpowers running around.
Right. It's all street level, athletic and acrobatic, but that's about as far as you go into any real abilities.
Yeah. So it's interesting what they'll do with it. I mean, we've seen them do it with Smallville though, so.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But the other one is also a DC property that we're going to talk about, which is Gotham.
Which really surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect to like the trailer as much as I did.
Yeah, I honestly still, I mean, even though it did impress me, I actually liked the shorter trailer that they showed first more.
Right.
Because I don't know, I think the longer one was cut. It wasn't cut as well as the shorter one.
Probably not. But I just kind of am getting more of a feel for it.
Yeah.
But they're delving more into Bullock's character, and I think that's what's drawing me to it, and kind of fleshing out Gordon a little bit more. Now, the series does have one big inherent problem to it. They are delving into something that hasn't really been touched on that heavily before. The interim time between the death of the Waynes and Bruce becoming Batman. But the problem is, that is sitting out there like a stop sign for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, you may have some lee room, but you're going to run into heavily established mythos eventually. So they're going to have to be really careful at the pacing of this.
Yeah, I mean, they're already kind of trampling on that with the introduction.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit, especially making, it seems to be making Catwoman, slightly older than Bruce.
Yeah.
Now, which, may end up being an issue for them.
Right. And even introducing Selina and Poison Ivy and and the Riddler and all this into his childhood it's a bold direction. Interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and it's definitely one thing that very much worries me, and they didn't touch on it in the trailer, but I did read a potential news article on it, that they are thinking about bringing Joker into it.
Yeah, I did see something about that too. That's weird.
Yeah, that's not only weird, but that's extremely dangerous. I mean, having Joker apparently already completely Jokerized, kind of stomps all over his origin, for one, or one of his potential origins.
Right.
But, also, how is... He can't have any interaction with Bruce.
Right.
Because how is Bruce, the child, going to deal with a fully Jokerized Joker?
Yeah, I don't know which way they're going. I mean, if you remember back to the 1989 movie, it was Joker that killed his parents.
Right. But he was still...
he was still normal.
he was still Jack Napier.
Right.
There.
So, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say by several accounts, it's Batman who drops the Red Hood, or the Red Hood slips out of his grasp, or, whatever thing you want to go by on it, and the Red Hood being, Jack Napier, or the failed comedian, or Nameless Guy number 3, or, whoever that becomes the Joker.
Right. Yeah, and, that, like you said, I mean, if he's already fully Jokerized, it completely takes Batman out of his origin.
Yeah, which means how are they going to explain that? Is that going to be? Is it going to be Gordon that is somehow responsible for his jokering, or will he joker off screen and, come into it there?
Yeah. Now, one thing I read, I don't know if you saw this or not, and I don't remember where I read it, and I only kind of skimmed it, but they said that they were basically, if the show is successful and lasts, their plans are to take it all the way from Bruce as a kid to past Batman era, So I mean, it seems like they're planning long term to actually go farther than Smallville did in a way, to actually put him in costume and take him into that level.
Right, kind of full on Batman. I hadn't heard that, no. To kind of go Batman Year One-ish on it.
I guess, yeah.
But, if he's a main character of the show, you also run into the situation where he's going to have to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
He has to be able to go off and go around the world and learn all the skills to become Batman.
Yeah.
At the very least, go to college,
mm-hmm.
as, they showed him in the, very earliest origins of Batman, learning, criminology and all that.
Right.
Or, at the most, having to go and, deal and learn at the feet of all these senseis and detectives and magicians and escape artists and, all these other people who I doubt they're going to be able to justify are all going to show up in Gotham and just happen to take this kid under their wing.
That would be so jumping the shark, I think.
Yeah, that would kind of stretch credibility quite heavily. So
yeah. I don't know. I think this first season though is definitely just going to be them as kids, and I don't know how that's gonna work, especially because we see Catwoman basically as Catwoman girl, Cat girl.
Right. Yeah, I mean she's already got the ears, unless she just has some real connection to walking around with cat ears on her head. There's no real reason for that.
Yeah. And I don't even know where Poison Ivy comes because she looked like she was not well.
Yeah, she looked like all her vines were not climbing up the same wall. If you get my drift, she already looked a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I'm still confused. I mean, all right, don't get me wrong. I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, for the first time, I'm actually interested in this, and I want to see at least the first episode and see, what they're going to do with it. Because before that, it was like everything I heard, I was very skeptical about.
Right.
But even after seeing it, I'm still not sure what exactly kind of show we're going to get. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure either. I'm almost sad that that Gordon seems to be going in with, like Bullock would seem to be a good cop still.
Mm-hmm.
And by all accounts, when Gordon first got there, he got put with some of the more bent cops in the thing. So it's hard to say. I mean, Bullock may be a little rough, but it would seem that he's still going to be the good cop.
Yeah. So
it depends. But, then also in the trailer we see Gordon dropping apparently Riddler or somebody off the pier. So I'm not quite sure what, how that's going to go. But I'm definitely cautiously optimistic about the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too. So, I mean, right now it's like a wait and see.
Yeah.
We've heard all the questionable stuff, and now we've finally seen a trailer, and it looks kind of interesting. So now we got to wait till fall, and see how it plays out. But speaking of Batman stuff, though, we did get the first look, and we'll probably go into more detail on Zone 4 probably.
Right.
But, we got the first look at the Bat suit and Batmobile, and just initial thoughts. What'd you think?
The suit I'm relatively okay with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a side view and it's hard to tell details and stuff.
Right.
And, I don't know if you realize, but Sad Batman has already become a meme.
Yeah.
And, they've been putting him in a bunch of different scenarios already.
Mm-hmm.
I've already heard a lot of people up in arms over the lack of bat symbol.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one, but it's, very subtle.
Yeah.
It's more carved into the costume than anything else.
Right.
That's not really bothering me at all. It's not. I wasn't expecting, black bat on big yellow at all.
No, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. And it's hard to say. It's a deliberately black and white or grayscale photo.
Mm-hmm.
So, light or in color might give that, some more definition.
Right.
So I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I'm not overjoyed with it or anything, but I don't, absolutely despise it. The Batmobile, it's still looking very Tumbler to me.
Yeah.
It's like Tumbler with a smaller cockpit now.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out to me though that the unlike the Tumbler where the front wheels are more in the front of the vehicle.
Yeah. These are
on the side.
Almost. Yeah, on the side. Kind of what I noticed, it was kind of the Tumbler and mixed it with, like, the first Tim Burton Batmobile.
Yeah.
That whole sliding upper cockpit window.
Yeah.
That the whole piece slides back.
Right.
That's very much what it looks like. And then it's slanted forward. I mean, the front end is significantly lower to the ground than the back end.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, there goes aerodynamics for one thing. But, secondly, I'm not sure why that is. I'm curious to see if there's some sort of big, ridiculous jet in the back.
Oh, that would be interesting.
It'd be interesting. It might be visually cool. But, and it's excessively scalloped, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Rather than being more sleek and having a few scallops, it almost looks like, it almost looks kind of like 90s spikes popping out of, like where spikes would be on everyone's clothing in every conceivable place.
Yeah.
This one appears to have sharp, jagged, batty sort of things popping out of it willy-nilly. Without any, definite thing of why that's happening.
Right, yeah. I don't know, it's really hard to tell because you only get a partial view of the car. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It's
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Batmobile yet. The suit, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to look. So right now, like you said, I mean, this could be a prototype. This could be, we could not be seeing the full colors or whatever. I would have preferred the bat symbol be black, but aside from that, I don't really have any major complaints about it so far.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one issue so far, and it's a little small. It looks like, and you can't see it really well, but it looks like the utility belt and kind of the whole codpiece area. Mm-hmm. Is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, like, ridiculous. It's bigger than his hand.
Yeah.
The utility belt is like bigger than his hand. The pockets or the things for it are bigger than his hand. It's weird. And the gloves kind of look, rather than looking like gloves, they almost look as if they're a molded part of the suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That worries me a little. And, some people might have a few issues with the short ears.
I've seen that complaint, and my answer to that is go reread.
Yeah,
Frank
exactly.
Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Right,
exactly. It's the ears have always kind of grown and shortened over the years anyway, and honestly, these ears are kind of an homage to, like, the new look Batman, sort of, or maybe you could even say these are almost 60s ears.
Yeah, I think they're very
I
similar.
Think they look fine,
Yeah, they're very similar to the 60s and to Frank Miller's version.
Yeah, they're much more simplified ears. They're not those gigantic, sticking out the top of his head ears, which, once again, not at all aerodynamic.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't hate it. There are probably small concerns, and there's, I've already seen some people throwing up pictures online where they've taken the image and kind of tweaked it here or there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one already where they sort of darkened the Batman symbol.
Yep.
In there, to kind of make it a little more prominent. So.
Yeah, I've seen it once. I've seen Hello Kitty. I've seen.
Well, yeah. Well, we all saw one of our buddies posted the one where someone had turned him into Catman.
Yeah. Which was brilliant.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Made me want to see the Catman movie.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see with that too. I mean, I feel like on Zone 4 we've dogged that movie so much that now it's kind of time to sit back and just see what happens. So, but I'm sure they'll give us something else to talk about very soon.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
There's never a lack of things for us to geek on.
Yeah, I will say that Ben Affleck looks really good in the suit.
He does.
He really does. So.
Surprisingly so. I mean, people should give him a little credit. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are sort of making fun of Sad Batman. He's become a meme.
Of course.
Already, and stuff like that. But like that, I think people should really give him props. I mean, look at the chin, look at the face. That's that's Batman. That's an older Batman, and that's what they're. That's what the movie's supposed to be about, is they're aiming for an older Batman.
Yeah, and powers aside, in that suit, he looks like he could take Superman.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He looks like... He makes Cavill look small.
Yeah.
By comparison. I mean, he makes him look like a physically smaller man by comparison, so... And there's kryptonite in one of those pockets. So.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Of course.
So it'll be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I think that's all the time we had for this segment. And thank you once again, Chris. Definitely join us all for the full episode of Zone 4 this week, which actually Chris will be on. So I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about, but we might be talking about some of this too. So
we'll probably be talking about this again, but
that's
Chris
okay.
will be chiming in every couple of minutes. We'll go, no, that's wrong. You're wrong, Chris. You're wrong. Now take your show back and get going.
All right. Until next time, guys. Thanks.
See ya.
He's the Joker, but he's not laughing. He's the bad guy that Batman's after.
Alright guys, and welcome back to the final part of today's show, and that is the weekly rundown. The show where myself and Brant, hi Brant.
Hey, Chris, remember, April showers bring what?
Hey! We're going over books that were released that will be coming out May 21st, 2014. That's next Wednesday. And there are a lot of books actually coming out next week, to be honest, from all the companies. There's some big, heavy-hitting books. By the way, Brent, it's good to have you back. I know we missed you last week.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Always good to be here.
Yeah, you left me with Michael. Thank you very much.
My master plan.
You told me 2 morning streams.
I'm sure he did fine.
Oh, he did good, yeah. We were used to doing the rundown.
He may have been a little perturbed being so late because I kept you so long, but that's okay.
No, he was fine. He was fine.
Good.
Crashed right after the video, but still. So, what do you say we talk about some comics?
Sounds good. That's why I'm here.
Exactly. So, you wanted to start us off this week?
Yeah, I'll start us off with Dark Horse, and let's see what I am looking forward to. They have one of the 1 for $1 books coming out, which I totally missed this when it came out originally. Dragon Age Silent Grove. So, I'm a fan of the video game, Dragon Age, so...
Yeah.
I want to check that out. Let's see, anything else for me? I'm not seeing anything else that really stands out for me personally.
Well, with me, Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 10, issue number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really looking forward to Star Wars Darth Maul, son of Darth Omir, number 1.
Close enough.
Exactly what I'm saying. But those are the two I'm looking forward to the most.
All right. And also coming out from Dark Horse, Axe Cop American Choppers, number 1, new miniseries for that. And we have BPRD Hell on Earth 119. Brain Boy Men from Gestalt, number 1. Okay. Dark Horse Presents Volume 2, number 36. And Witcher, number 3. And a bunch of trades and hardcovers, of course.
Mike's looking forward to Witcher. He's really enjoying that series.
Cool.
Alright, so that leads us into DC, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
Oh, joy. Batman Beyond Universe number 10, that's been a pretty solid book. Forever Evil number 7 is finally coming out.
Finally.
It's only a month late.
Or
Why
more.
the heck not?
Yeah.
And with that, of course, comes Justice League of America number 14, the final issue, and Justice League of America number 30. I think that's about all I'm looking forward. Yeah, that's all I'm looking forward to.
Wow. Okay. I agree with you on Forever Evil and the Justice League books. I will add Batman Eternal, number 7.
I looked right over that book and I said, you know what? I'm gonna let. Yeah, no, I looked over that book because I said, you know what? I know Brent needs a book because I left like nothing, so I was like, I'll leave Batman Eternal.
I think you left me like at least 3 things, but also Harley Quinn, number 6.
I dropped that series.
Oh, dude, I love that series. Unlike the rest of you, I've enjoyed every issue. So,
It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's that I feel like it's a filler series. Like, you know those series that are out there just to be out there and they kind of feel filler-ish? Like they fill that slot for the month?
yeah, but it's such a fun book that I don't mind that. So,
I might get it the following week if it's a light week. It's just this week was such a heavy week for me
yeah.
that I don't think my viewers will mind if I put Harley Quinn a week late.
Gotcha. Also, New 52 Futures in number 3.
Didn't I say that?
Nope.
Oh, how about that?
And did you say Sinestro?
No.
Okay.
And I miss Sinestro.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. You little bugger, you stuck your way in between Scribblenauts and Supergirl.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are all for me, I believe so. So, what else we got coming out?
Okay, going back to the top of the list. We have Batman 66, issue number 11. Batman and Frankenstein, again, issue number 31. Batman Superman number 11, it better not be Jay Lee in it. Batwoman 31, Birds of Prey 31. Green Lantern New Guardians 31. Red Hood and the Outlaws 31. Supergirl 31. Pandora, Trinity of Sin Pandora number 11. What?
You skipped Scribblenauts. Or did you mention that? Yeah.
Scribblenauts on Mass Crisis of Imagination number 5. Sorry, I missed that. Wonder Woman 31. Then from DC Vertigo, we have American Vampire, second cycle number 3, and Unwritten Apocalypse number 5.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so. Yeah, of course. All right, into Dynamite then.
So you want to just tell everybody what's coming out from Dynamite? Because I have nothing either.
I actually found one. Mark Waid's Green Hornet number 12.
Oh, sure. It's all the way on the bottom. I just found it, too.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure one other thing's not coming out. I'm still maybe Solar Man and the Atom number 2.
Depends. Because
Yeah.
the first issue kind of left me like, okay, this could be good or this could be bad.
Yeah. So, anything for you?
No, you said the only two that I'm reading out of this entire pile.
Okay. All right. So we also have Battlestar Galactica number 11. Flash Gordon number 2. Wasn't crazy about the first issue.
Me either.
We got Magnus Robot Fighter number 2. I missed the first issue of that. So
Isn't that no? That's cover G, H, and I, and J, K.
I thought I saw A there.
It's number 3. Number 3.
It's number 3. You're right. I apologize. Number 3. I missed 1 and 2 then. Wow.
You got to be careful with Dynamite. Dynamite just throws out these high-end or risque covers every other week. It's like a list of repeats and second printings.
Yeah, I should have looked at the price. That would have told me. Pathfinder City of Secrets number 1. Okay, that's based on an RPG, I think. Shadow Midnight in Moscow number 1. I'm sure Ron's looking forward to that one. And Shadow Year 1 number 9. We have $6 Million Man number 3, or season 6 number 3 rather. And I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
All right, jumping into IDW. Seven Sword number 2 is something I'm looking forward to. I know Cindy's looking forward to Littlest Pet Shop. Issue 1 comes out this week.
Cool.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 30th Anniversary Special. I am 100% looking forward to that. And Transformers Windblade number 2. I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. I'll agree with both of those last two you mentioned. I'll add Star Mage number 2. And yeah, that's it for me.
Alright, so other things that come out are Classic Popeye issue number 22, Danger Girl Mayday number 2, Dexter's Laboratory number 2, Indestructible number 6, like I said, Littlest Pet Shop number 1, Monsters and Mad Men number 3, My Little Pony Friends Forever number 5, Rogue Trooper number 4, Star Slammers Remastered number 3, Star Trek New Visions number 1 Mirror Cracked, Thunder Agents number 8, V-Wars number 2, and that's it.
Yep. Cool. That Star Trek book is the one that John Byrne did where he like took scenes from the show and like wrote a whole story around it and pieced the panels together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, so heading into Image, Invincible 111. I'm not turned off from the series yet, so we'll see what happens. Anything else? No, actually.
For me, just Saga 19, and because you've already mentioned Invincible.
Yeah. All right, so also we have A Voice in the Dark, number 7. East of West, number 12. Were you going to say something about that?
No.
Oh, okay. Ghosted, number 10. Mercenary Sea, number 4. Mind the Gap, 17, which I've still got to catch up on. MPH, number 1. Prophet, number 44. Rocket Girl, number 5. Undertow, number 4. Did you read the first issue of that?
Which one?
Undertow.
No.
I tried to. I didn't like it. Velvet, number 5. Zero, number 8. And Artifacts, number 37.
And that leads into Marvel. Oh boy, what am I looking forward to this time? Well, Amazing Spider-Man number 2 for sure, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Amazing X-Men number 7 because of Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Sweet.
Daredevil number 3 from Mark Waid, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Long list. Original Sin number 2. Nova number 17. I think that's about it for me. What about you?
Okay, all of those that you mentioned. Avengers World number 6.
Mike's reading that.
Magneto number 4.
Same thing.
Let's see if there's anything else down below.
And you dupe?
No. Wolverine and the X-Men number 4. I actually still enjoy that series.
Oh no, I left that for you. I saw that.
Okay.
I left it.
And I don't know, X-Men number 14 maybe. I'm kind of back and forth on that series. So. But yeah, that's it.
So, also coming out is All New Dupe number 2, All New X Factor number 8.
Which is a good book.
Oh yeah, X Factor absolutely is a very good book. Deadpool Annual number 2, which I know Mike skipped. Elektra number 2. Hulk number 3. Miracle Man number 6. Savage Wolverine 19. Thor God of Thunder issue number 22. Ultimate FF number 2, although I don't know why anybody would waste their money on a second issue of that. Uncanny X-Men 21. X-Men 14. And from Icon we have Powers Bureau issue number 10.
Yep.
Which now leads us into the Indies brand. So what books are you looking forward to from other companies?
Right. Skyward number 7. That's actually a really good book. I've only read a couple issues, but I definitely want to mention it. I'm looking Unity number 7 from Valiant.
Definitely.
Yeah, Exo Man of War number 24, which is the Armor Hunter's Prelude. So, oh no, 25 is the one's coming out. I'm sorry, this is Armor
25
Hunter's.
is the one coming out. It's Armor Hunters number part 0.
Yeah, you're right. So that definitely. That's a variant. Man, it's so hard to tell, especially with these. Warlord of Oz from Zenescope.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it for me.
For me, it's definitely Sonic 260. Because I love the Sonic books. Unity number 7, Exo Man of War 25, just like you. Grim Fairy Tales Ascension, issue number 4. Godstorm Hercules Pain number 2. Hellsing number 2, all from Zenescope. The same book issue, Warlord of Oz. And I think that's it for me too. I just want to make sure. Yeah. That's all for me.
Cool.
I would like to make one mention though that even though it's sold out from at least one place, Paper Cuts is putting out a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger trade paperback.
Yeah. Cool. So we don't list all the indies, right?
No, we're not going to
Okay.
list. That's it.
There's a bunch of other stuff. So check it out.
Exactly. There's a whole list of other stuff. I mean, you got like Gold Digger 210. Just to name a few things. Simpson Summer, Shindig number 8, Adventure Time number 28, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff. Ooh, Translucid number 2. Also, I forgot to mention that. Translucid was very good, the first issue. Hey, look, Zombie Tramp in a risque cover.
Also from Action Lab, as is Skyward. So
There you go.
cool.
That's basically it. So guys, thank you so much for sticking around this week for another episode of It's a Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Feel free to leave comments below on YouTube if you're enjoying the show. If you're listening to the show on zone4podcast.com or iTunes, feel free to email myself or Brant. I'm Chris at comicrelated.com or Brant at comicrelated.com. Do you want to mention the Zone 4 email for yourself, Brant, or that's fine?
Zone4@comicrelated.com.
There you go.
Yeah, for any questions or anything pertaining to any of the shows.
And we do have a sponsor for this show. Brant, you want to talk about our sponsor?
Our sponsor is, of course, Audible.com. If you go to audibletrial.com/Zone4Podcast, you can get a free 30-day trial and a free book download, and it does help the show, all these shows that are part of the Zone 4 family. And, you get something for free, we get the support, so it's a win-win. Yeah.
And there's a lot of awesome books on Audible.com. There's more books added each and every day. So there's lots of awesome books. And hey, maybe you'll get lucky and have Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
Who will talk like this. And hope there's not a fox. Ring-a-ding-ding. Ring-a-ding-ding.
Since you mentioned Fox, let's look it up and see. There's all kinds of books about a fox. I mean, there's Midnight Fox. There's a lot of stuff. The Last Stand of Fox Company.
Let's get...
There's the Fantastic Mr. Fox and Other Animal Stories. And there's Fox and Socks. So, all those,
definitely not see Morgan Freeman doing Fox and Socks.
any genre, any kind of property you could think of, they'll probably have something related to it. So you can just do a search and find what you're looking for on Audible.com.
Indeed. So until next time, everybody, have a great week, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of It's a Podcast. Take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and most importantly, keep listening. Later, everybody. And I guess that's the part where I say, cue the music, or cue the outro.
Join us next time for another episode of
It's a bird! It's a plane!
It's a Podcast.
Up in the sky, look! Up in the sky, look!
This has been a Ventura production.